All right, viewers, welcome back to the Young Turk Dialogues by Crobstacle, and this is our episode number 56. And today, as promised on the episode 50th, we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Trishta, and she has done a lot in terms of marketing. And today, we are going to ask Trishta what she has done in her marketing career. She has been the marketing manager at L'Oréal, as well as now she is the head of marketing at Bhartiya Group. So, Trishta, I will let you to introduce yourself to the audience who is waiting
Sure.
for your episode.
Thanks, Anmol. I am a marketing professional today, uh, but contrary to what a lot of people would think, I'm not an engineer. I'm an architect by education. I worked in that space for a few years before I switched over to marketing. I did my MBA from ISB. Worked at L'Oréal for 3 years. Post that was one of the best schools I could have got to really learn on ground marketing from. Post that, I've shifted to Bangalore. Today, I do marketing for the real estate space, hospitality, as well as education. So, worked across multiple industries and very happy to have this conversation with you.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, we are happy to have you as well because our audience is consistent of marketers,
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, and startup founders, and they would like to hear your opinion how they can grow their startup. So why not you just begin with the crazy part of the career from architect to now being a marketer? That is something really exciting.
Yeah.
It is a totally different career. You are designing buildings, you are designing interiors, and you are designing everything, and now you are totally into the marketing space. You are now marketing products, so
Yeah.
that transformation we would love to hear about it.
Yeah. A lot of people think architecture is, as you said, just about designing. And they
Right.
usually think that it's about designing a built environment, maybe a
Yes.
structure, maybe an interior, a furniture piece or something. But what you actually learn in design school is how do you communicate with people. So and how do you affect people? So you may have observed this when you enter a certain building. It creates some effect on your mind, some effect on your mood. Maybe it transitions you from the atmosphere outside to inside, right? So an architect is constantly speaking to you through his design in the built environment. Uh, and you are literally trying to understand people and cater to them. And don't you think that's what a marketer also does? You are creating campaigns, ads, films, copy. Everything is to affect the mind of a consumer and see how they're going to respond to it. So a lot of people don't associate this, but I've seen it in my career of how much I draw from my design and architecture background in when I'm creating campaigns and working on execution.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think it all makes sense because marketing is all about learning what a consumer wants, and as a
Yeah,
designer, as an interior designer, as an architect, you learn about all of those things, what your audience
yeah,
wants, how it should look, how it should feel, which is a big part of marketing. And talking about big part of marketing, having architectural your experience into it, why not you give us an insight into your diverse background? Because from architecture to marketing, then L'Oreal to Bhartiya Group,
yeah,
marketing manager to the head of marketing. That is
yeah,
a journey our audience of entrepreneurs, our audience of marketers would like to understand from you because everyone thinks that marketing, oh, marketing business is like this, oh, entrepreneurship is like this. But
yeah,
your journey, from architecture to head of marketing, it is something that we need to talk about. It is something that will give our audience a few
yeah.
lessons.
When I was making this transition, there were, seniors at my workplace who used to tell me, you're just going to be a rolling stone, and a rolling stone gathers no moss. But I would like to add to that proverb, and I said that a rolling stone gathers no moss, but it gathers shine. And I don't want to gather moss. I want to constantly learn, and I want to constantly adapt. Uh, and the world that we are in today, things don't work in silos anymore. I mean, we literally can order a laptop on the same app that you can order tomatoes on, and it'll come to your house in 5 minutes today, right?
Right.
The world really does not work in silos today. People, reasons why they buy something, reasons why they trust a brand, reasons why they decide to repeat a brand or not repeat a brand, these principles stay common across industries, whether it's FMCG, real estate, hospitality. What is different is purchase cycles. What is different is ticket sizes, and uh, how do you build trust amongst them for that particular purchase. But people are the same. And once I accepted my strength, which a lot of us don't do, we always think that. I may have something, may not have something. But the minute you accept that your strength is really knowing people, that's when you can be a marketer across industries, and it doesn't matter as long as you're hungry enough to, like, sit and observe consumers. My favorite thing to do is uh, observe a sale, observe. And this sale could be of anything. Like, I'll go to a mall and I'll sit there for a couple of hours and just watch people. Or when my sales team at office is selling, a home to someone, I'll sit somewhere on the corner and just listen in. And that is, that those subconscious learnings kind of translate. So anyone who's listening to this podcast and really is passionate about marketing, spend a lot more time listening to the consumer at the place of purchase.
And I would suggest our community of startup founders who is listening to it, which is the major audience, you
Yeah,
need to focus on this point. Listening to your audience, getting down on ground, understanding them, what they want is what Krista is suggesting us here, and that's what we need to do as marketers. I will tell one thing from our Zepto case studies that we did
yeah,
the similar kind of thing. We went, we understood what our audience want, and that's what we did.
yeah,
Same what is Trishta is suggesting here, and that's what she did in the architectural business. That's what she did in the marketing business right now. And one another thing, Trishta, I would like to speak here is that these days people confuse. Oh, I'm a digital marketer.
yeah,
Traditional marketing don't apply to me.
yeah.
What you have to say about it. This is something a very sensitive topic we need to talk about today.
I'm very glad you brought this up, because I feel like when you slot yourself into just one medium of marketing, you kind of lose the entire, like, you've lost the game over there. Of course, it's great to have a skill set, that allows you to get more out of the digital platform. But consumers are not purchasing only on one platform. You know this. There are, what, 12, 18, 25 touch points in a consumer's journey today, and they're constantly evolving. uh, I would think of, uh, how do you link every touch point of the consumer and push them slightly lower onto the funnel? It doesn't matter whether it's a print ad or an outdoor ad. Can that ad make them want to scan a QR code and go to your website and know more about you? Why does the print ad just have to be something that sits on the paper? Why can't it nudge you down your consumer journey also? Because you are completely losing that audience that spends time looking at an outdoor or reading an ad. It's a lost opportunity over there. And something that I've observed with a lot of digitally first brands is that the minute you stop investing in performance advertising, your sales drop, right? Because a brand is not created on Instagram ads. A brand is created in the mind of the consumer. So, um, a lot of times I have personally purchased things from digital ads and I don't even remember the name of the brand. And I've loved the product, but I don't remember the name of the brand, right? Because I'm interacting with that ad just for 3 seconds.
Our team, we should highlight this, remembering the name of the brand, because this is something very important for any brand. If your customer remembers you, they will surely come back to you. But if they
Yeah.
don't remember you, they will end up searching for you again, but they will never find you again.
And that's where your cost of acquisition again increases, right? Even the repeat purchaser is not like, you're not monetizing on that.
Right. It all makes sense because even I have seen there are a few brands I will buy it from them for the first time because I see their ads continuously. And once I buy from them, the product is with me. I might use it, I might not use it, and
Yeah,
then after some time I will forget them. But rather, a brand who is advertising digitally but as well as offline medium, for sure remember them because they are
yeah,
at the top of my mind every time. So what Trishta is suggesting here, it is going for a omni-channel approach for our audience. That
100%.
is what I think. So, why not tell the audience of our marketers, the current things that are happening in marketing with your role? Because your current role is
Go.
the head of marketing at Bhartiya Group, which
Yeah,
is, you told me you are into real estate kind of stuff. So
yes.
why not you tell a bit more about it? Because our audience will love to know more about it.
Sure. So real estate marketing is somewhere in the middle of B2B and B2C, right? Because you are selling to a consumer, but the ticket size of the purchase is much bigger than just an impulse purchase or, a low value item. So both principles of B2B and B2C apply when you are marketing to a home buyer, for example. Also, a home is something that usually becomes a once in a lifetime purchase. It's a milestone event for someone.
Yes.
Um, and so that's one aspect of it. But the second aspect of it is that people enter this market as a consumer not trusting any developer, right? Like you name any developer and there will be some story of some customer saying, but I don't trust them for this reason, I've seen this project. So you are not just trying to convince them of your product, make them aware of your product and consider it. You first have to fight the non-trust with which they're entering into the market. uh, you know the, till the end, even after buying it, they'll be like, no, there must be something wrong in what I have bought.
Yeah.
So that is where this marketing becomes very different than just, this is a lipstick, this is the shade that you want, it's good for your skin tone, it fits your price, go for it.
So real estate marketing is very different, right?
Yeah,
So, like it's as you mentioned, it's a combination of B2B and B2C marketing as
yeah,
the ticket size is very. And so, what kind of emotions are involved from a consumer's end, and how, as a marketer, you see them to leverage it
yeah.
in terms of getting that branding done, getting that sale done?
So, like I said, number one is trust. I need to believe that what you will deliver me is something that I can pass down to my kid also. You're usually buying a home for like the next generation to live in. It's not so much just for you. So it comes with that amount of expectation. While you do have your tangible requirements that they'll come in with, that I want it in this location, this configuration, etc. Um, but what you're actually selling them is a life, right? You're not just selling them a product. So at Bhartiya, we don't like to talk about price per square feet, and we don't like to talk about two bedroom hall kitchen or something. We try to understand what is your family like, and what are your family's requirements. Are you both people that work from home? So do you need a space together but also a space that is your own throughout the day? uh, are you a large family that wants to live together but still wants privacy? So we have 16 layouts and multiple iterations of them. So I can tell you 64 layouts. So every family can find something that suits them, live together but also separately. Uh, and it's also about the gardens. So we don't think that you only live in your home, you live outside of your home as well, when you're walking from your parking to your lift, then from there to your house. So how do you kind of give them an environment and a lifestyle, and not just a 2 bhk of so many square feet at this price?
Wow. That is something interesting that I heard from you, that you not only focus upon 2 PHK, because from my perspective, till date, what I have heard is, oh, this place is 2 BHK, it's near this so location
Yeah,
or that. But I
yeah,
saw is that you guys are talking about the touch points that a customer wants, which is
yes,
something very
yeah.
interesting for the marketers. Would you like to? explain more on it, in terms of as a marketer, how they can explore this point, getting into the customer's touch points and executing on it,
Sure.
because this is
Yeah.
something I feel it is very necessary for any marketer to understand it.
Yeah. Sure. Uh, so I think rule number one would be understand why someone is buying a product, and this is across any industry. Why are you buying a vacation package? Why are you buying a home? Why are you buying that lipstick? You're not buying that lipstick just because this shade matches my skin tone. Some of us are buying it because the moment I put lipstick, I just feel like my face brightens up, and I just get that confidence to talk to somebody. Sometimes I buy the lipstick because I want to express myself. It's related to my mood as well, and it's not for somebody else. It is just for my mood. So there's a little high that I get when I apply it, right? So we all say understand the consumer. We all say understand the product, but there is something in the middle. What is it really giving me? And then design your campaigns for that. Don't design your campaign for this is the benefit of this product in a very like transactional manner.
Understand. So, like in terms of the example you gave us of the lipsticks, is that it gives you the confidence. So they are
Yeah,
not selling you lipstick; they are selling you that you apply it and you will feel confident.
selling you joy. Not, I won't even say confidence. I'll say I'm just selling you joy. Like the moment. Uh, I was selling lipsticks during the pandemic when literally this part of our face was under the masks. Uh,
Right.
and
Yeah.
our
Why not you
sales,
tell more about it? Because
exactly,
you
right?
just used the
And
point. This part was under the mask. Still, you were able to sell.
exactly. And we did not have a loss in the lipstick vertical. We, in fact,
Oh,
grew, of course, not at the rate you would have wanted to grow, but people were still buying lipsticks even when they were wearing masks. Because we found different moments when they were using lipstick. So, for example, people were doing a lot more virtual interactions, right? Like the way we're doing right now. Dates were happening virtually, birthdays, celebrations, meetings, interviews. Uh, Now you don't want to sit and do an entire face makeup just for a virtual interaction. You put a lipstick and suddenly like it's done, right? Like
okay.
I look ready for the camera. If I'm going down, like the entire week, I've just been at home in the lockdown. Today, I'm going down to buy a grocery. Let me just feel something more than just this mundane go down, pick up the grocery, and come up. It's really like the magic really happens in that 1 second when you're swiping onto your face. If you really sat and looked at a girl put lipstick, that's when you would understand why she puts it. It's not for a guy, it's not for anything else. It's those 2 seconds when she's applying it. So if you can create products and campaigns that cater to those 2 seconds, that's when you'll be able to sell it
That's
even when
something
you're
very,
wearing
very
masks.
interesting, even
Yeah,
for our audience of marketers, entrepreneurs, and everyone.
yeah,
Because we never thought a product like lipstick could be made in with the kind of insights you have given, with
yeah,
so much depth of research. So this is
yeah.
something very interesting.
Another thing I'd like to add is, and this is something why I've always be proud to have worked at a brand like Maybelline, is that they even took that one step ahead to create products that worked very hard. So, for example, there's a lipstick called the Superstay Matting, which does not budge for 16 hours. So, what is your main problem? After putting lipstick is that it'll wipe off. I'll sip something and the stains are going to stay on the glass or somewhere else. They worked on formulations and you created a lipstick that did not uh, transfer onto any medium, and for 16 hours you did not have to do a touch up. So even if you were wearing a mask, you removed the mask and your lipstick stayed intact. So we were able to create campaigns around, okay, you want efficiency, here we'll give you an efficient lipstick. You want joy, we'll give you the colors that you want. So it's bit of both.
It's understanding your customer to the depth,
Their need as well as that emotional reason, both.
emotional reason. Right. Emotions are, of course, very important with any
Yeah.
process. I was reading a book. I'm still reading it. So that book tells us that we buy things from the emotion and then validate with logic. So I think it
Yes.
all makes sense now.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, right. By the way, with our initial call, you told us that you are into career coaching as well. So,
Yeah.
with all this knowledge, why not you give our audience a bit into insight into this? What about
Sure.
your career coaching thing?
So this is something I've started recently, and the reason I've started it is because you, for a more traditional career path, you will find a lot more mentors who will able to understand and kind of cater their advice to what you need. Uh, for a lot of architects, firstly, there are very few uh, role models or examples of people who've transitioned out of architecture into something very different and very mainstream. Uh, and when I tell them that when you study design, you didn't just study design, you studied problem solving. What are you doing? This person wants a home. This is the kind of home you want. I'm going to give you a solution to your problem. In corporate, you do design thinking workshops. What is that? That is what I have studied for 5 years. I understand people. I understand how to influence people, right? And these are very simple things. If you also sat and thought about it, you'd be like, yeah, why can't an architect be a marketer, right? After this conversation. So, one reason for doing that is for all the architects out there who want to move into something else. Let's find a way to kind of, get you there. Uh, and not just architects. There are a lot of people who want to make career pivots, like I have done from different fields. Like psychologists want to, get into finance. I mean, I speak to all kinds of people who are like, I studied something because this is what I saw growing up. My brother, my parents, they were studying this, but my passion is something else. Am I too late to make that move? Uh, and to all of them, I want to, I don't want to advise. I just want to be like, we can find a way. You don't have to be stuck doing something you don't like. Your strengths and your desire has to meet. So, yeah,
Right. I think it makes sense, yeah, because a marketer understands things from a 360-degree angle,
yeah,
which is all of it, because
yeah,
marketing is all about product, price, place, promotion, and it covers most of the things when you are developing a product or even anything. Like
yeah,
you give example of how you did with lipsticks. So I never thought about like you would have gone in so much depth of the lipsticks, understand what the consumer wants, and then make a product and then release it into the market, which
yeah,
is something very interesting. And I think it makes a lot of sense now as you have told it. And in your, of course, career coaching thing, I think, yeah, this is something that the people need to understand and to be stay relevant in the current time. And
yeah.
why not, if you have, as you have spoken about career things, so tell our audience how to be relevant in the current times, because most people, as far as I know them, they are not getting to the current times. As
Sure.
you know, how things in marketing have been evolving as
Yeah.
they've been growing. So you tell us a bit about it, because these people are not listening to me, they are still commenting on our own podcasts about it. So I think you might be able to clear their doubts.
Sure. So, w- once you stop studying formally and you enter into the workforce, there are very few companies that slot out time for you to keep learning. It just doesn't happen, right? Even if like your corporate company is making you do some modules, they're very like basic.
Right.
You have to find the time to upskill yourself on your own. There is just no easier way than that. You have to decide that I did not stop studying when I got out of college. Every year, I need to learn something new. It doesn't have to be pressure. I don't have to go get a degree or a certificate every year. But did I just learn something new? It's okay if it's not directly related to my line of work also, because today it's all converging. You could study coding and like use it in to like understand tough data sets when you are a financial analyst also, right? Like it doesn't have to uh, be just that is in alignment with your work. Keep learning something that you are interested in today, because that is what will make you actually go through those courses, seek out, and today you have so many alternate schools. You have people who are like ready to teach you something in 2 hours, and webinars in 4 hours, and that's all opened up so much, right? You can literally do a 4-hour crash course sitting at home learning something today. So don't take the pressure of does it make sense? Do I want to know more about this? And then see where you'll go.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, it makes sense. So now, as you have talked about marketing, you have talked about the career guidance. Why not we touch down upon something very important in these times, advocacy for women in the current workplace? Because this is a topic we have discussed about during our initial calls, and I would like you to touch down upon this to our audience because I think it makes a lot of sense with the current times. What are the things happening in India?
Yeah, I think this is an important conversation to have. Again, it's similar that you don't find as many examples or role models of women in senior leadership in a lot of companies. Of course, it is changing today, uh, drastically changing, but you'll more or less find yourself in a boardroom with like 3 women and 18 men. Like that is where you find yourself. Uh, and what that does is it makes the woman in those rooms overcompensate. They need to behave like the men to be heard, to be accepted. Because when a woman gives her point in her way, it's usually called out as emotional. I've been in like meetings where a senior leader who's male is talking in an angry tone, uh, and say a woman is responding softly, maybe even with a tear in her eye, she's getting called emotional. And even if she's making a good point, people are saying, stop being emotional. Why is anger not an emotion? Why is the person who is talking angrily not called emotional? Why is a man who gets angry called assertive and aggressive, but a woman who's expressing from empathy called emotional and weak? So if you stop looking at the emotions people are using and hear their words for what their words are, you'll have a much more balanced workplace. And I'm fortunate to have worked in a company like L'Oréal where there were 70% women, 30% men in certain teams, because, well, the products are more catered to women, so why not? And I've seen uh, how uplifting it is for a lot of women to see such examples around you, a much more safer place to work at emotionally also.
So how is it with your current workspace? Is it the same that was it that it was with L'Oreal? I know you cannot speak a lot of it because you're working there currently, but whatever you can tell to our audience, it might help because even we as entrepreneurs, we are thinking how we can have more women staff in our teams. But why just you
Yeah.
throw some light on it?
So, see, real estate traditionally attracts a lot more men than women, but that is changing. I mean, I'm one example, and I have colleagues senior to me who are also women. Uh, and I think it's just important to have these conversations. When a woman faces microaggression at work, she should be able to call it out. That's all. Like, we're not expecting change to happen overnight. Recruitment is also a function of supply and demand, both, right? Like, there are roles for which a lot more men apply than women. So, you can't force a skewed ratio over there. Uh, but as long as you just stop calling women emotional, so they're either emotional or bossy. There's nothing in the middle for women. Like, stop giving her labels and just treat her for the role that she's in, the point that she has to make. I think that's enough.
Got it. Got it. Makes sense. Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I think people will love it who will listen to this episode till this point. And
Yeah.
now, to the people who have listened it to this point, why not you tell them a bit about the future of marketing? Because this is something that many people have been asking about in the polls. We
Yeah,
told them we will have someone who is the head of marketing of a group of a, big
yeah,
company. So they asked us this question: what is the future of marketing, and what should marketers do to be prepared for it? So just tell a bit about it.
sure. Uh, So, like I said, while principles of marketing stay the same across various industries, what really is different is purchase cycles. So, for example, an FMCG product, food or beauty or something, you probably decide and buy within like 1 or 2 days. A home, you'll probably take about 45 to 60 days to buy, uh, right? Uh, but today, I'll say the opposite. I'll say purchase cycles are completely changing. They are morphing. If I want to buy uh, a laptop today, I don't need to sit and like figure out where is the closest Chroma, Vijay sales. Can I go there, touch, feel the laptop, and then buy it? I'll literally look for a review on YouTube, decide, go on to one of your quick commerce apps, and the laptop is home in 15 minutes. Did we think that that's going to happen? No, we didn't, right? So purchase cycles are definitely changing. Uh, so I I feel the narrative of market more digitally, offline, all of that is gone. It's a thing of the past. Think of how is the consumer going to purchase today. That place of purchase has completely changed and it's constantly changing. So that's something to keep in mind.
Got it.
In fact, people are buying homes on websites today. There are a few examples in Dubai, etc., where you can literally go onto a website, do a virtual tour, to see your financial terms, and literally like add to cart your home, and like your registry papers are coming. So
Wow,
so you
that's
do,
very interesting. Spending
yeah,
100 crores on a website and you are just getting the paper.
right, yeah. So place of purchase and cycle of purchase is changing.
Yeah, I think even I have seen some of the vehicles listed on Flipkart. So I
Mm.
think this trend is going to be in India
Yeah,
soon because people are buying vehicles from Flipkart and they are giving massive discounts
yeah,
if you just go to Flipkart.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. So as we have reached to our time bound limit, which our audience
Yes,
has been telling us about. So why not you, before closing this episode, tell us about your top five learnings for our audience of marketers, entrepreneurs, what they can learn from you, what they should be applying in their businesses in the current trends to grow their businesses. Because we have a lot of people from various different industries, marketing, IT, you talk about manufacturing, all of these people are watching us.
right. So I think for a professional learning or a professional advice that I'd give is what I said at the start. Observe your consumer at their place of purchase a lot more. And if you can observe them, so like spend a day as a salesperson. Even like the Zomato's founder and all does this, right? He goes as a food delivery guy every
Right.
2 months. He spends his day and then he comes back and works on his product. A lot of good FMCG companies encourage that their marketing managers, brand managers spend a day as the salesperson behind the counter, set up displays and see how people are reacting to your displays. So even if people are purchasing more on e-commerce, don't stop observing how a consumer is interacting with your product. Even if you are an e-commerce marketing manager, uh, do deep dives on their carts. What are they adding to their cart along with your product? The real data, the real fun is in seeing what else are they purchasing along with yours. How long did they take to purchase your thing? When did they come back? So we had observed that a lot of people used to buy, used to do discovery on Nykaa, but replenishments on Amazon. So this
Right.
is the kind of insight you'll get only when you're spending time with the cart, whether in person or offline. So don't lose this. Schedule that time every month, one day. This is all I'm going to do, and you'll see the impact that will have on your career. Um, Personally, I would say don't be scared of learning something new. everything does not have to be in the same line of work that you've been doing. Uh, just keep learning. I know it's very easy to say, but every time you get targeted with some, short app or something, think about why you've gotten targeted for it. Probably you are searching for this on YouTube or Instagram or something.
Right.
So trust the algorithm sometimes and pick up one of these courses and just do it. Uh, Number three is think of the role that you want next and start behaving in that manner today. I know this is another cliched advice to give, but the only way you will be able to move to your next role, whether it is vertically up or laterally out, it is if you already start behaving like you are that person. And it sounds obvious, but a lot of us don't do it. Then we find ourselves in senior leadership positions where you're like, oh, I wish I had done, I wish I had thought like this earlier. So a lot of us think that going up the ladder means you'll just be doing strategy work. No, when you go up the ladder, your focus is a lot more on execution excellence.
Yes.
And if you've never focused on that in your initial years, you'll never be able to preempt issues and solve for them. So start, wearing that cap. I think three advices are good for people whose
No, these
attention
three
spans are
are
much lesser today.
yeah, these three are far more practical for our audience because I think it
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense seeing the current times. So these three are fully practical. Makes sense. Perfect for our audience who have been watching us
yes.
patiently. We have already been 6 minutes up from
All
the
right.
stamp you have set up for us. But I would like to say special thanks to Trishta for making time for us, considering we
Yeah,
rescheduled the podcast a lot this day because I was busy with a few clients. But
sure.
still, I would like to say thanks again, Trishta, for joining us here on this episode number 56 of the Young Turks Dialogues. And I hope our audience, you get a lot of value from it. And as you have been patiently watching for this, we will surely be in touch with Trishta. And if, let's say, like what just Trishta said, that thinking about your next role, let's say Trishta becomes someday the chief marketing officer, we will be doing another episode with her. We hope we
Sure.
do that soon. Or whatever your next role may be, we will be in touch.
Yeah.
And yeah, perfect, our audience.
Thank you, Anmol, for having me. And you guys are doing some great work. I have seen a lot of your other podcasts as well. So I like how relevant you keep it to your audience. So all the best.
Thank you so much. It makes us very happy to hear this feedback from you. And our audience, please do subscribe our channel as you have been showing us love. Please do comment down in the comment section. You have any questions? I will take them to Trista. I have already asked what you have asked us previously, but we will be looking forward to more questions. And again, thank you so much. We will be back
My
again with
pleasure.
another episode. All right.
Thank you.